authorized commercial. Indianapolis has a ton of developments going on downtown in our central business district. And I thought it would be pretty cool to outline what is going on down there, but not just go talk about the scope of one individual development, but how do they tie with an individual type of property type, an individual type of user, and how can we utilize that data to help my business owners, the tenants that I'm looking to help, and just overall, generally speaking, know what's going on downtown as an investor as well. So with the first one out of 9 developments that's going on, let's talk about the biggest one, the IU Health Campus. Giant facility that is going on downtown right now. This is probably going to be the biggest thing in the healthcare space for a long time in this whole state. So let's talk about it in detail. First part of this is just talk about the development itself, the scope, the size, and of course its purpose. So we talk about 44 acres where it is stretching from 16th Street to 12th Street, Capitol Ave, and to I-65, Interstate 65. So it's right outside of the CBD business district, and it's an expansive site that of course is going to transform part of the north side of town's skyline. So at the heart of this development, we're talking about 16-story hospital complex. Features 3 patient towers. Each one of these towers is going to incorporate a total of 2 million square feet, having 864 private patient rooms. So in terms of use, of course, it's going to have every single type of use and service possible, from acute care, medical services, and this is also going to help them consolidate space from IU Health Methodist and university hospitals to education and research facilities, as well as the IU School of Medicine. So of course, that's not going to be it. We're going to talk about, they're going to have other multi-use support buildings, logistics, parking, offices, and of course, a little bit of retail. Total investment is going to be $4.3 billion. And of course, it's going to be the largest capital projects really here in our state. So going to the second part of this video, talking about the medical services that are already in the CBD market. So we're talking about independent providers and other large healthcare networks. Right now, looking at CoStar, the things that I can see that are already leased that are deemed medical users, we're talking about 706,000 square feet, 630 square feet. This is across 23 different properties, and this is part of the other total square feet of these buildings, 1.6 million square feet. So this includes Methodist, Eskenazi Health as the large healthcare providers, as well as independent practices, so internal medicine, dentistry, eye care, etc. So when we look at the vacancy rate in these individual buildings, we're at 18.9%, and this is up in a 12-month period from 15%. So we will compare this to the total office vacancy of the CBD submarket later in this video. So looking at most medical tenants in downtown Indianapolis, they occupy low-rise buildings. So this is 1 to 5 stories, and these are often an older shape for the age of the year built, and not always designed for modern healthcare. So I'm very curious to see what these tenants are going to do in this area. And of course, this is not the exhaustive list of every single medical tenant and all the total occupancy that a medical user will be in the submarket. As you can see with the red dots, I've mapped out all the medical users I could find. So you could even think of other providers, chiropractic, massage, anything that has to do with wellness as well. So this is not just, purely, hospital-driven healthcare, but any type of use that's going to be deemed a medical. So we could say, looking at these pins, maybe even double this 706,000 square feet to 1.4, 1.5 million, compared to the overall office market of around 12 million for that square footage, which we will actually get into their numbers right now. The third thing we want to consider in this video is the impact of this development compared to these medical users already in space. So right now, the total CBD submarket incorporates 12.7 million square feet of office space. And we're talking about we have a vacancy rate in the general office market of 24.8. Looking at that compared to the 18.9% we have in the medical users, this is of course a little bit bigger. And because these are specialized facilities, of course, they're going to be a little more in demand. But the silver lining with any of the office space that's downtown is, of course, our mixed-use developments. Think of Mass Ave with Bottle Works, giant facility, and has a lot of reasons where the users of those spaces would want to go and want to lease up. And of course, they're doing a great job, and their dollars that they're getting per square foot is 36. And you can even look at the lease comps right here, and the highest we can see is 30, but they're getting higher than that. So don't say that office use is not in demand. It is in certain areas more than others. And of course, we have the Stutz building. They've done an excellent job marketing that facility, and it's a great site. And we've had some very large, tens of thousands of square feet lease for some big corporations, such as Talbot as well, in that facility. So when we talk about wrapping this up, that healthcare campus for IU is likely further to drive, these smaller tenants possibly away from the CBD submarket. They might have to relocate. Some of them might even go out of business, depending on the services that campus is going to provide. The sheer size and the state-of-the-art facility that they are building here, might make it tough for independent practices to compete. So what is going to happen to those tenants when they relocate, if they do, and who's going to backfill them, considering we already have a large vacancy rate for the general office market? On the flip side, this is actually going to open up some other opportunities for other developers around this site, seeing if they could pick up other buildings around it to use it for other uses other than medical office, to facilitate demand for retail, possibly residential, to be closer to this site. So those are the key takeaways. So if you like this video, I would love for you to give it a like and a share. Subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next video for the development series here in a second.